How's everybody doing today? Happy Friday to you. Looks like we got quite a few joining us over on LinkedIn. Say what's up in the chat. Let me know you're here. Let me know where you're tuning in from. So our second Friday jam session. Shortcutted the LinkedIn comments today. Got some updates on that. Let me just refresh these comments for you. I see some lurkers over on LinkedIn. Say what's up in the chat. Let me know you're here. Let me know where you're tuning in from. We're going to have a little bit of fun today, a little bit of learning, whatever you want. This is an Ask Me Anything session. We're going to crank out our weekend style before we get let go on the weekend. It is a chilly day here in Midwest Ohio. Tell me what's like wherever you're tuning in from. Lily actually tuned in last evening and said she was currently jamming out to the Light of the Seven from the Game of Thrones soundtrack. So let me know what your favorite tunes are that you enjoy listening to in the office. Yes, welcome to the Do What Is Necessary live stream. This is, again, second week of the Friday jam session, Ask Me Anything. Got a few things I want to share with you today. But if you have things that you would like me to show you today, anything goes. Live streaming, LinkedIn, Canva, ClickUp, whatever goes. Welcome, Robert Gibbons. He said it is cold, just a low degree of heat. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you. Mike O'Callahan said, what's up with your backbeat? And what's the purpose of this session? Mike, this is a Friday jam session where this is an Ask Me Anything. We're going to listen to some tunes. This is just an idea that I had that we started last week, and I thought we would just run with it. We had a lot of fun last week. I think we went for almost 2 hours. We just jammed out, listened to some tunes, talked about live streaming, video setups, all kinds of fun stuff. So whatever you would like to talk about, Mike, I'm game. I've spent 25 plus years as an MSP. Now I enjoy being a content creator and a coach. Welcome, Danny Chaplin from Nottingham, England. Appreciate it. Let me know what you guys want to talk about today. Like I said, I got a few things that I want to talk about today. I'm looking for Diana Giles to show up. She had asked a question on our live stream last week, and I wanted to answer her questions so that she had some questions about doing video setups. So if you've got questions on video setups, live streams, whatever, anything goes on this live stream edition of the Do What Is Necessary live stream. Mike, I think this might be the first time that you've spent some time with us, so you may have no idea who I am. I am Andrew Moon, Orange Nomad. I turn hustling underdog entrepreneurs into calm, unstoppable CEOs. That is what I'm all about. Welcome to the show, Diana Giles. She said she is here. She is ready. Thank you, Diana, for showing up. Let me know, too, though, not this time works for you. We're trying to get a 12:45 time slot. I know it's kind of a weird time slot. But I definitely wanted to do some interaction. And again, my whole purpose of this is just to decompress on a Friday, have some fun, learn some stuff, anything and everything that you would like to do, I would be game for. Danny said, is there a recurring invite for this event? I'm usually on the MSP ones that you do with the other great guys. Yes, you're talking about my Not an MSP show. Yes, I'm going to set up a regular recurring invite for these, Danny. I just kind of testing things out. We did last week. We had lots of fun last week. So I'm all about having fun. Like I said, just decompressing on a Friday. Diana said that this works for her. We appreciate you tuning in, Diana. Let me know what your favorite type of music is in the comments. Those of you tuning in, Danny, Diana, I think you shared this last week. Mike O'Callahan said, cool, crystal clear streaming, right on. So again, if you've got questions about live streaming, if you've got questions about anything IT related, business related, entrepreneur, running a business, whatever, anything goes. So Diana, since you are here, let me know if you would be game on tuning in and maybe having you on live if you're up to it. If you're not, that's cool too. But I wanted to answer some of her questions that she had last week to make sure we get those covered. So excellent, Mike. Danny's into R&B, hip hop, house music. That's what I've got running here. We've got some house music running from our friends at Epidemic Sound. So if you haven't tried out Epidemic Sound, it's super cheap. Link is in the description to get yourself a free trial. So excellent. I'm just going to go ahead and do some likes to those folks that are over here that are showing up. As you can see, Diana, we bypassed the LinkedIn comments. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit before we get started, and then I'll talk about software, and then we'll jump into answering some of Diana's questions. Yes. So LinkedIn we've had issues on the streams the last few weeks. It's been very intermittent with getting LinkedIn comments to come into our broadcasting software, which currently is eStream. And Mike, if you hang out, I'm going to show you what that looks like. They just released the 4.0 release yesterday with some awesome new features. We're able to stream out to 10 different locations, all without having a third-party service, which I thought that was awesome. We've been using Restream to try to answer some of our streaming issues, LinkedIn being one of them. I ragged on LinkedIn a little bit over Microsoft over the last week about LinkedIn comments, but it turns out they are reevaluating how vendors use the comment API on LinkedIn. So right now, our streaming software, Ecamm Live, has a pause button on their ability to access the LinkedIn comments API. And this could potentially mean that no vendors, including StreamYard, Restream, and others, are able to interact with the LinkedIn API for commenting. Hopefully not, but we'll see what Microsoft decides to do. Diana, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and direct message you a link over on LinkedIn, Diana, since we're chatting, because I want to be able to answer your questions. Let me just go in here and find our previous conversation, Diana, and I'll send you a link if you want to jump on the show. Like I said, no worries if you don't. All right, I just sent that over to you, Diana, so just let me know you got it. I'll wait for you to jump in here. But yes, to answer, I'll wait for Diana to tune in here. Let me know, Danny, Mike, you guys have any questions? Mike, that was a great question about this software or app I'm using. Actually, he said to transcribing my live voice. That is actually baked into LinkedIn. When you stream to LinkedIn and you enable the captions, it will automatically caption the live stream, which is pretty cool because it saves me a step. Saves me from having to use Descript, which is the one that I typically use to do my podcast and some other stuff. But yes, when you live stream to LinkedIn, that is auto captions is a check mark, at least on Ecamm and Restream. It was a checkbox as you set up the live events. So, but the app that I'm actually using to go live is Ecamm Live. And I'm going to flip over here and show you live demo mode. Our tunes might kick out for a second. So I'm going to switch over here to live demo mode. And you guys can actually see what I see here in the stream. Let me mute that real quick. So right now, you guys should see what I see. So this is how I live stream out to LinkedIn and YouTube. But if you'd like a full demo of that, let me know. We might do a full demo at some point. I'm waiting for Diana to show up so I can kind of maybe cover some of her questions on live streaming. If you want to see a behind the scenes shot, this is an overhead shot that we have. I'm going to do an unboxing. Actually, let's do that. Let's do the unboxing while we're waiting on Diana to show up. How many of you are Tech Tribe members that are tuning in right now? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Let me move the comments out of the way. I am a huge Tech Tribe fan. I do a lot over in the Tech Tribe. Let me move my keyboard out of the way. This was a present that I got from Nigel and the team. My Down Under Taste of Australia box. So thank you, Nigel and Team Tech Tribe. I thought we'd just go ahead and unbox and see what goodies are in here. But yeah, let me know in the comments whether or not you are a current Tech Tribe member. If you don't have any idea what Tech Tribe is, there's a link in the description. You can get 40% off. And there is Robert trying to be funny. Tech Watt, I know he's a huge supporter, as is Diana of the Tech Tribe. Love the Tech Tribe. So let me move those comments out of the way. We can unbox this without breaking something. So if you guys want to wow your customers, this is a great idea. This stuff has gotten much cheaper since my MSP days. Unfortunately, Nigel, this did get batted around a little bit in the mail because I think it went to my old address in Columbus. But I finally did receive it. So if you guys want to wow your customers, this is a great idea. Sending out gifts like this. I know I've gotten several from them. Special note just for me. Love the koala bear. Thank you again, Nigel and Team Tribe. We super appreciate this little touch of love from the Tech Tribe, and showing appreciation is a super way to keep customers. And it looks like Danny has the Logitech MX mouse, but not the keyboard. I absolutely love that keyboard. I'll talk to you a little bit about that in a minute. So this is Enjoy Your Treats. And Diana's joining us here in a second. So let me get Diana in here real quick. Hi, Diana.
Hey.
Awesome. I'm going to put this unboxing aside for right now, and we're going to go ahead and bring Diana into the broadcast. Let me get that set up real quick, and then I can answer some of Diane's questions about live streaming. So I'm going to put that box away real quick. And let's see here. I'm going to switch over to this screen here, Diana. Just give me a second here and I'll get you on screen. And how is your day going so far?
Going well. Just
Good.
typical Friday, I guess. Kind of playing catch up.
Yep. Trying to wrap up the week, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So let me just come back over here to our main scene. I'm just moving a few things around right now, Diana, so just give me a second. I'll get you up on screen. All right, let me bring in your camera here. There we go.
Yay.
No worries. Like I said, I enjoy doing this. I know people get freaked out being on live, but don't let it. We don't bite. I promise. All right, I'm actually going to put this, make a circle. So you and I can chat here. And let me tune this off real quick. So excellent. So you had some questions on live streaming last week. And I'm going to see if I can bring those up on the screen too. I got a couple. You sent me a couple pictures. So kind of behind you, you were wanting to put a kind of a curtain or a display behind you. Is that right?
Yeah, it's just, I have a very long, skinny office, and just the background isn't great for video production, I don't think. Not necessarily live, but I would like to do some live things, but also just, demos, that kind of thing. Even though I may be, mostly putting my computer screen out, I still also have myself on there too. And so I feel like the background isn't as appealing as it could be. So in the past, I've had a curtain, but then I kind of thought that caused more curiosity than anything. It just kind of looked weird. So anyway, I'd had an idea. I just wasn't sure if it would work. And I was kind of wondering your thoughts on if you thought that would be a good solution before kind of going into the construction of it. So.
Yeah. So would that be something like permanent that's kind of bolted to the walls, or?
No, what I was thinking is, because there's a door right here that goes to our attic. And so I thought it was one of those things where I could bring it in and out as I needed to.
Perfect.
Because I think my husband is very handy. He can pretty much build anything. So I thought he might be able to, build that. And then I could just kind of move it in and out as long as it was light enough. But I was mainly just curious if you thought it would work because of the different levels of the built-in. That's my problem, is I have this nice built-in, but it can't be moved. So.
Yeah, and I think I saw the one where you had the curtain on there. Is that where you would put that? The current backdrop would be just past that.
Yeah, maybe the curtain kind of cleared all the way back to where the end of that counter is. So I was thinking of actually pulling it in a little closer.
Okay. Yeah, that would probably, I think that would probably work if you did that. I mean, is your husband going to put something like a curtain rod type thing that you could, or something that's affixed to the wall, or is it going to be portable?
What I was thinking was doing like a frame, like a wooden frame.
Gotcha.
That's light enough so that it could be, moved, but then with a canvas or a fabric stretched across it.
Perfect.
So
no, I think
that would give the ability to kind of handle that ledge of that counter and then go down and create a background.
I think that would work. And on the back of your chair, is there like a bar or something that you can clip something to, like a light?
Yeah, I think there is.
Because I think I sent you a link. Let me grab one real quick. I'll show you what those look like. Yeah, because this is what I did for the longest time. Let me go to an overhead shot. Just these clamps. And I think they're like $10 or $11 on YouTube, or on Amazon rather. So you just clip it to the back of your desk, and then this screws right here. You can attach the light to it, and this is fully adjustable.
Okay.
That's what I did for the longest time. Like, beginning of my live streams, I would sit with my back against a wall, and it was just a gray wall. So sorry, let's go back here to this one. Yeah, so it was just a dark gray wall, and I got a light that I clipped to the back of my chair, and it just gave a nice, kind of an aura look with that light.
Okay,
like
so the light projects on the background.
Exactly. And
Okay.
it just kind of really gives a pop to the background, and doesn't necessarily draw people's eye to it. So if you had like a dark gray or a black background with that fabric, that shows up nice with no matter what color you want. Because let me see if I can find that. Yeah, on Amazon, I think it's a Pixel G1 light. I think we looked at it last week. I think it was like $60, and that will actually clip to the end of this clamp. So there's a quarter
I never
inch.
thought of that.
Yeah, and then you just, like I said, you just clip that to your chair and have it pointed up and shining backwards, and it'll give a nice spill of light to that backdrop. So
Okay.
it's real cheap.
Yeah, that's good, because I always think about the front lighting, not the back. So.
Yeah, and that's what it just kind of does. I think you've got enough lighting in the front with the windows in front of you. Mm-hmm. And I also noticed you wear glasses like I do, so having your light at that 45-degree angle is perfect, because it keeps the glare of the lights off of your glasses.
Yes, I've had my ring light show up in my glasses sometimes. That's not good. But.
Yeah, but you've got it. I noticed in the pictures you showed me that you have it up and then at a 45-degree angle tilted down towards you. So yeah, I watched a few of your videos and I didn't see the lights. That's always annoys me. I try to keep the lights out of the frame if we can, but
yeah, it's probably on the older videos.
Yeah, so
I tweak things to try to get a little better, but
yeah, and then like I said, as you get more comfortable on video, just given that kind of pop of color, you can. And what's great is with that light, that pixel light, it's RGB. You can change the colors, so you can actually find a color that might be real close to your logo or your company colors.
yeah. Okay.
So I use orange.
That's good.
I go with the default.
Yeah, the background pattern wouldn't be as important if it just needed to be. It could be solid.
Exactly. I would keep it solid. Because the only thing I wouldn't do, I've seen some people do like canvas prints and have their logo and things on them. The only thing with those, if you don't get a matte enough finish on them, the lights actually reflect back into you'll see the I don't know, it just makes a weird glow on that background. It just becomes more distracting than anything. But yeah, just a plain, like a dark gray or black fabric and just a nice pop of color lighting on the back. Again, less than $100 solution for lighting.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. That's great.
Yeah, Aaron Straczynski just commented over from... No, anything. He said 3-point lighting works for most situations. Yeah, we can get into whole lighting. My wife's a photographer, so yeah, I just try to keep things super simple for my brain, and because like I have one giant light a dome light in front of me. But yeah, another light you might want to consider too. Let me grab one so I can show it to you real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, and it actually drops a bit more color in the frame. These are made by GVM. They're super thin lights.
Okay.
But I have a link to that too if you in the orangenomad.com/gear. But yeah, this is a really great light. It's only, I think this is a 10-inch light, but I was using this as my main light at that angle, that 45-degree angle down for a while. And yeah, these are fantastic lights, and they get super bright. So again, just something you might want to check out if you decide to start upgrading lighting. That's kind of where I would, if you don't want to spend a ton of money, I think that's a relatively inexpensive set too. So
yeah, and it makes a difference if it's during the day or at night, because during the day I have some nice natural light. But
exactly.
when I'm, I've been on a couple of podcasts in the evenings, and the lighting is a whole other thing. So
especially with webcams, the Logitech webcams get really squirrely when there's not enough light.
Yeah.
Do you have the C920 webcam?
I think so.
Yeah, I think I think I saw it in the pictures you sent over. That's what it looked like to me, which I still have. Yeah. I still have mine. So. Anyway, any other questions that I can answer for you?
Like my phone, but because the phone cameras are so good now. So
they are, and actually, yeah, like this top-down camera here, or this look right here, is an old iPhone 8, and this one here is actually my current iPhone. This is my iPhone 12, 13, whatever we're up to. But yeah, it's amazing what you can do with webcam or with phones these days, for sure.
Right.
Any other questions that I might be able to answer for you today?
No, I mean, this has been huge, because this has been something that I've been having in the back of my mind, kind of mulling it over, and I just wasn't sure if it was, even if it was worth pursuing, if there was something that I wasn't thinking about, like why that wouldn't work,
Yeah.
So
see, and that should work whether you start to upgrade your lighting, your camera, just a solid backdrop. It's just, again, it keeps things simple. And that for me, taking away the friction of creating videos was the hardest part for me. And now I just sit down, a few buttons, and we're on. And that was always my thing with dragging stuff out, setting it up, doing all that stuff. Made it cumbersome, and I didn't want to do videos. But this is, yeah.
Right. It's gotta be kind of easy. Now, I did actually think of a question. I know you used to use Restream, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And now you're using Ecamm. Is there a big reason why you switched, or?
We've been using Restream, actually. My whole broadcast is actually done out of Ecamm Live, which if you're on, it's a Mac only, so that's kind of one of the things to keep in mind. I'm a fully Mac shop anyway, so Ecamm just made sense. But like OBS is a production software, and then you can go use Restream to get it out to LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. So Restream is actually a service that provides those destinations, but they also now have software that works in a web browser. And so if you want to get started with live streaming, and I think it's the business or the pro actually lets you record locally. So you don't need to live stream. It can be your full video capture system. So yeah, you don't need to learn Restream or Ecamm or OBS or anything like that to create video. And it's a step up. The video quality is better than what it is when you record Zoom. Like if you do a Zoom, or what have you been using to record with?
Well, most recently I have been using Restream. And I have done it, used it for some local things too. If I was just, recording some video to send to somebody, for training or that kind of thing.
Yeah, I like the product. Like I said, I use Ecamm just because of the customization. Like what you see on the screen here is not impossible to do with Restream, but it's a little more cumbersome to get the look and the feel that you want.
Right.
And to have, that's just my preference. I produce a lot of events, so I like having the customization of things. So
Right.
You know how we tech
Yeah.
people are. We like to have control.
That's right. That's right. Well, I got to learn the hard way on one of my videos that I had an overlay and I didn't even realize I had it. So I had this funky color border on my video, and like, I hadn't even noticed till I looked at it later. So
Yeah. But yeah,
But it's just
Restream's
learning.
perfect. It's easy to use. You know, I would say the two competitors there, if you're looking at something that runs out of a browser, is Restream and StreamYard. But then, like I said, if you get into more customization and more control, then you can go to OBS if you're on Windows or Ecamm if you're on Mac.
Okay, good. Well, I was just wondering because I knew you used to use Restream. So
Yeah, and that was Ecamm just released their 4.0 version that's been in beta for almost a year. They released their final release yesterday, which basically allows me to stream straight to YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and up to 10 destinations. So I don't need to use Restream to do that anymore because we haven't had that capability. The only reason I've been stuck with Restream is they have access to the LinkedIn Comments API. For now, that's why if you notice, I've had issues getting comments to come into Ecamm, and
yes.
yeah, it's just LinkedIn is doing some things. So here, this is my bypass for that. So I just created an overlay and screen captured the LinkedIn comments. So, but yeah,
Okay,
for privacy reasons, LinkedIn's reevaluating third-party vendors' use of the comment API. So they've put Ecamm on hold for now. So we're kind of waiting to see what happens with that. But anyway, so we got workarounds for that till they allow it. So, but it's like I said, it's Microsoft. So you and I both know it's hard to tell what they're going to do.
That's right. That's right. Well, I think the challenge, I'm pretty comfortable when it comes to just, talking about a topic or demonstrating, an application or something like that. But the whole thing about posting comments and interacting with the audience kind of thing, that's like so many moving parts. I can't even imagine doing that. But maybe with experience, I don't know.
It does come with, you just got to do the reps. That's what I found in the beginning is just doing the reps, and the more times you do it, and it does get easier. It kind of becomes second nature. I do it in my sleep. I'm like clicking buttons and setting up scenes and doing production in my sleep now. So
Yeah.
but yeah, if that's something you're ever interested in, let me know, because we are going to be offering a limited number of spots to do remote production. So similar to what to the show here. So we're going to be saving people from having to learn Restream and learning all the ins and outs, where you just show up and we'll do the full production and you talk on the subject that you want to talk about, and we do it all for you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
Nice.
yeah, so you got a preview of that. I wasn't going to ready to announce that till next week. But yeah, a lot of that's kind of held back a lot of MSPs from getting involved with creating video and streaming, is the time it takes to learn all the tools and all the nuances of software and production.
Right.
I love it. I've just fallen in love with doing this. So I'm like, why not help people do it? So anyway.
Yeah, that sounds good. Sounds like a good plan.
Any other things I might be able to help you with outside of streaming or anything today?
No,
All right, perfect.
no, I appreciate what you very much. So,
Yet again, thank you for hanging out and being a regular supporter of the show. I appreciate it. I'll see you inside the tribe. I know you're a Tech Tribe fan, as most of us are that are here.
Yes.
So, well, good. Well, Diana, thanks again for jumping on, being a sport,
Well,
and
thank you for all
coming
your
on
content.
live with me.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
You have a nice weekend. Yes, I love doing people want to jump on live. We've tried this out on the Not an MSP show this week, so I figured if you ever want us to answer questions or have me answer questions for you live on these jam sessions, let me know. Happy to do that. So thank you, Diana, for being a sport and jumping on live with me. So I'm going to jump over here to LinkedIn, the comments, tune up some jams, and we'll answer some other questions that have come in over here while I take a quick drink. Looks like Danny is a Tech Tribe member. That's how he found me. So hopefully I don't wear you out too bad, Danny's, but thanks for hanging out with me today. Mike is also from MSP World. Though he said he runs a small studio and local recording artists, jazz and blues, funk, soul, R&B, and hip-hop. Nice. Guitar. Yeah, but see behind me in there, that is my first stab at being a luthier, Mike. My son and I, that was our COVID project, was trying to put together a guitar. Unfortunately, it didn't work out too well, so my time as a luthier was short-lived. So, Mike, thanks for the great comment here. So I'm just going to read through it. That's awesome. You're into audio. He's fascinated with how to get the musical vibe, new talent, short proof of concept audio clips out to a small audience via streaming video, maybe podcast, promote other talent from Denver, Atlanta, Columbia, South Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina. That's awesome, man. Mike is not a Tech Tribe member. He said a question, a Mile High overview. Are these tools to facilitate these goals? And in your opinion, how would you suggest going about getting started with setup and right tools, ideas, suggestions? I'm assuming you mean for live streaming, or do you mean the music broadcasting, Mike? If you just want to kind of clarify for me. No, apologize for being a newbie here. To your credit, I saw a link and was pulled in. It's got someone. So which headset and cam and OEMs am I using? The headset I'm using is the Rode. It was NTH. I got these last year. Absolutely love them. They're super comfortable. Camera that I'm using is a Canon M6 Mark II. And finally, any use cases for any of the above? Generally speaking, appreciate any thoughts or ideas you may have. Yes, so the camera that I'm using, like I said, Mike, is a Canon M6 Mark II, and that's sitting in front of me behind a teleprompter so that I can actually see the screen, see the comments. And then over here on the right-hand side, I run production. Let me just do this. I'm going to go ahead and show you what I'm looking at. Let me move those comments out of the way. Maybe this will kind of help you, Mike. Show you my setup here. We'll go mobile a little bit. So this is my setup, Mike. So I use the Elgato low profile arm. And there's a 32-inch screen running Ecamm Live. Everything's on automation with Stream Deck automations. And then all the audio processing I'm running out of the Rodecaster Pro 2. So everything from microphones to the music you're hearing, all of that is run out of the Rodecaster Pro 2. And then I'll just switch this around. Sorry for the dizzying effect here. So up here, Mike, I've got the camera sitting on a mount, but behind the teleprompter is my Canon M6 Mark II. Nice clock from Amazon. So if you're curious as to the gear that I use, Mike, if you go to orangenomad.com/gear, every single piece of gear that I use in this setup is all on Amazon. I've got all the links to everything. So Diana, if you're still hanging out too, this is the overhead light that I'm using right now. So I've just got the one light at a 45 directed down on me just to keep it simple. But yeah, I'm running a 3-monitor setup with a M1 Mac Mini. So if you're curious on that as well, let me switch over here and put this camera down. So Mike's mainly asking about doing music broadcasting. Yeah, so I know that there are several in the Ecamm community that actually stream music. And a lot of them are able to do that with a Rodecaster Pro or Rodecaster Pro 2 or their original Rodecaster. And, like I said, with the Ecamm software, they're able to get the audio and the video. So I know a lot of people have been using that. There's a few, I think Tom Lawrence, probably familiar with him over on YouTube. I think he uses OBS. I don't think he does any music, but that's what I like with the new Rodecaster Pro 2 is the combo jacks that they have, which allow XLR and the instrument inputs into the back of the Rodecaster Pro. Which is really cool because, like I said, you can have, different mixes, different setups, different audio levels, and some EQing for each channel. But that by far, Mike, has been my best purchase this past year. I think I got that back in June of last year. But yeah, that's been rock solid, and I figured put it to use by doing some of these streams like this, jamming some music out on a Friday. But if there's anything else you want me to show you, Mike, let me know. And I might be able to get you in touch with some of the folks that are doing music production, at least over on the Ecamm side. And again, it doesn't matter the software. I know several in the Ecamm community that are doing music production through Ecamm. Let me see if I can find a video for you real quick, Mike. I'll see if I can find one on the Ecamm's, because I think they just did one where they interviewed somebody who's been doing music production. I'll drop this in the comments when I find it. But yeah, I didn't listen to the whole interview the other day. And if you do want to check out I do have a couple kind of full setups, tutorials, Mike, over on my YouTube channel. If you want to check those out, I do kind of a full walkthrough. But like I said, if you want to check out the whole gear list, I'll put that in the comments too. Here's a link to that video over on YouTube, Mike, and it is a guy named McRocklin. Just switch over here so I can show you. Yeah, this is a pretty cool video interview that they did with him. But yeah, he talks a lot about how he's using Ecamm to be able to stream and do video production. Yeah, it's kind of a cool video. Like I said, I watched the first part of it. But yeah, I just dropped that in the comments for you as well. But yeah, definitely check that out. It's a pretty cool. It's like I said, what people are being able to do now, what we can do from home, is insane. But I absolutely love it. I love doing video production. I love doing these live streams. I love interacting with people like you, Mike. Yeah, Mike said for sure will do. He's going to check that out. He said, awesome, great, your setup. Great setup and super helpful. Yes, a tour of your gear was great. Very cool. You're super welcome, Mike. Thank you. And yeah, definitely shoot me a note. We'll keep in touch. If there's any insights that I can share with you on video production, we're going to be doing a lot more stuff inside of my Team Orange community this year, teaching people how to do this, how to do video setups, how to actually run a business out of it, make money being a creator, and just all kinds of entrepreneurial stuff we're going to be doing over on our Team Orange. So we got a few more spots open if you want to join us. We're going to be doing a first full 2-week focus sprint. We're letting the members dictate what that topic is. I'm looking forward to that. We're starting that. I think it's next week. Can't believe February's here already. Absolutely crazy to me that February is here. But yeah, let me know if there's anything else you want to talk about here. Otherwise, I'm going to switch over and we'll finish our unboxing of our Tech Tribe goodies. But thank you again to Diana for being a good sport and jumping on live with me to help answer her questions. Yeah, we lucked out. Diana said she just messaged me. She lost her internet a couple minutes after we went off live with her. So, well, that's good. We were able to get your questions answered live, Diana. I appreciate that. Let's see here. I'm gonna grab that box real quick here. Like I said, if there's anything else you want me to show you, gear setups, I'm happy to do that. Switch to our top-down shot again. I'm gonna grab that Tech Tribe box and see what other kind of goodies are in here. But yeah, Mike, if you definitely want to check out the Tech Tribe if you're still in the IT space too. I see you're in sales and operations for an MSP, but Tech Tribe is the jam, man. For $49, what you get is absolutely insane. I can't imagine what I would have been able to accomplish if I had the Tech Tribe when I had my MSP. So let's go dig into these goodies over here, see what Nigel and the team sent us. Unfortunately, I have celiac disease, so I bet you a lot of this has gluten. So some of it. So I'm just gonna look at the wagon wheels. Let's see. I'm gonna check the ingredients. So don't worry about it, Nigel. I know you didn't know. Yeah, I can't do gluten, so I guess I'm one of them gluten douches now. Yeah, glucose from wheat, so that's a no bueno for me. So my wife's gonna get some snacks today. I don't know if she's watching. Tim Tams, I heard a lot of people talk about these. My old eyes can't read this stuff anymore. Contains gluten. I like how they did it right on. Contains gluten. Containing cereals, milk, soy. May contain traces of egg, peanut, sesame, and tree nuts. So that's got gluten. So you're getting some Tim Tams today, honey. Oh, two things of Tim Tams. Thank you, Nigel. I was almost sure this is probably going to say the same thing as the last one. Yep, contains gluten. So, Sonny, wife's gonna get some nice snacks today. Nestle Milo, looks like this one came. This one popped a hole in it. Active Go energy release. Cadbury Carmelo Koala. Good stuff. So let me know in the comments whether or not you got one of these sweet little packages from Nigel and the team. But thank you, Nigel. Cheeky cleverly clutched a paintbrush and painted chalk chips spots all over himself. Anyway, yep. First thing, wheat is the first ingredient. Can't have it. What else we got in here? Some gum. A little koala bear. Thank you, Nigel. Appreciate it. Love working with the Tech Tribe. Next week we've got our Growably monthly Q&A calls. If you don't know what that is a absolutely free world-class CRM that Nigel is giving away to everyone in the Tech Tribe. Absolutely free. So definitely want to check that out. See here. Diana said Tech Tribe provides so much value for the money, especially with Growably. Yep, it definitely is. So if you're running something like Infusionsoft Active Campaign or something similar for a CRM tool, sales automation, marketing automation tool, you get one absolutely free with your Tech Tribe membership, and it's $49, by the way. So you get all of that, the community, all kinds of templates, all kinds of training, all kinds of just incredible, awesome stuff. And by the way, yesterday was the 6th anniversary of the Tech Tribe's birth, so glad to have you guys around, Nigel. And if you happen to be watching this, which I doubt he is, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning for him. See, Michael, somebody else, let me make sure I missed a comment. Yeah. Michael Little said, I think the water in Australia contains gluten. What's weird about that is I've had somebody else that is gluten intolerant as well. She went over to, where did they go? South Africa. And she took a chance on had some pizza or something over there. But believe it or not, the gluten that's produced over there didn't bother her. The gluten that's produced over here will put me in a box. So... Diana said, yep, it's fun to see other countries' candy brands. It is. No, Michael, I didn't get any roux jerky. Hopefully that's not a real thing, but it might be. So, but yeah, thanks, Nigel, for sending that over. Appreciate that. Let's see here. What else was I going to cover today? So I got the Diana, got her questions answered, did our unboxing. Anybody catch my LinkedIn live stream yesterday? And there was a couple questions that came up from that yesterday. I'm going to pop in another cough drop because I got bronchitis.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, exactly. So... I'm on the tail end of this. It's not COVID. I've managed to not get COVID. 3 years and counting almost. Have not got COVID, so hoping I'm able to bypass that. But a couple of people asked me yesterday. I'm going to flip over here. Move that out of the way. A couple of people followed up from our live stream yesterday where I talked about how to tackle LinkedIn and how to actually turn LinkedIn into a profit center for you and do it in such a way where you're not one of those salespeople that is constantly doing a pitch fest on LinkedIn. But a couple of people asked me about the software that I use to do that, to keep track of things and to track what we're doing. I'm just going to do a refresh on this real quick so I can show you. It is Linked Innovations. So if you go to linkedinnovations.app, you can get a 7-day free trial of this software that helps you track your efforts on LinkedIn. But this is actually a campaign that I've been running for about 8 days. And I've sent out 380 invitations and I've connected with 210 people. So over half of the people are connecting with the messaging, the connection messages that I've sent out. But what I love about even more is the 51 conversations that I've been able to have from LinkedIn. 51 people have reached out to me because if you'll notice here, there are no in-mails. I don't use in-mails. I never have, and I probably never will, because I pretty much know when I get an in-mail what it is. Somebody's trying to sell me their stuff. No thanks. But all of this is done with simple messaging, non-sales messaging, and it's been great because I've gotten quite a few conversations started from folks who have replied back, and I love having conversations with people, making new friends. So it is possible. LinkedIn can be a great wealth of information if you do it right. But again, if you want to check that out, go to linkedinnovations.app. There's a 7-day free trial. If you are a Tech Tribe member, again, going to go back there. Tech Tribe members actually get some other sweet goodies. So look up the tribal perk. for the Linked Innovations app. So you get some extra goodies that we've negotiated with Nigel and the folks over there. Great question. Michael had a question. Said, would you recommend the premium version of LinkedIn along with Sales Navigator? To me, the Sales Navigator has, I believe, and again, don't quote me on this, I have had Sales Navigator, so I believe all the premium things that you get with Sales Navigator. So I have LinkedIn training. I have the ability to send, regular in-mails to people if I wanted to. Your ability to connect with more people per week is greater, even on Sales Navigator. So I would say, again, Michael, I know that Microsoft's changed things so many times with packaging and things, but the Sales Navigator, I think it's the core plan. You go over here and look real quick. It's hard to keep up with Microsoft. Let's see here. But yeah, great question. Let let's see. Let me just go back here. Yeah, that's what this is what I have, Michael. I have the core plan. So yeah, core is what he was looking at. Didn't know if he needed both. No, I think once you upgrade to the core plan, it kind of supersedes your premium. That becomes your premium plan. But again, that's what I've got. That's what I've had for years. And again, they've called it different for, I guess they've now finally settled on those plans. You got core, advanced, and advanced plus. I think if you go monthly, monthly is $99 a month. And if you do annual, it's $79 a month. So, but yeah, I've got the core plan, and it works for everything that I've ever had and wanted to do on LinkedIn. But yeah, if you're going to do any type of marketing on LinkedIn, definitely want to upgrade to those plans. Because I did have a question to come in. Somebody wanted me to show them how to do the searches on LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So let me just go over here. You got a question as far as being able to connect with people that are in a group that, like a shared group that you might be in. So I'm going to go into Sales Navigator. So I was going to build a search. I think so I'm going to go in here. Let me refresh my mouse thingy real quick so I can zoom in for you. But yeah, you go to lead filters. Right here in the middle. And that's going to give you all your search parameters. And again, one of the big things that I like about Sales Navigator is I have the ability to do very granular searches into, geographies, not just cities, but I can, drill into zip codes, which is what I absolutely love. So you can actually do radius searches around zip codes. So I love that granular nature with Sales Navigator that you don't get with the regular one. Let's just go in here. I'm going to do like this one. I just want to connect with second, third degree connections and maybe group members. And then I'm going to come down here. There it is, the groups. And let's just see. There's a group that I belong to, IT Managed Services. So I'm going to go ahead and collapse this. And it's going to give me a list of my second, third degree connections that are in that group. And so now I have the ability to save that search. So if you belong to like professional groups or you have niche focus groups for that you're looking to target for marketing, that is a great way to do it. You save that search and then just systematically go through and start trying to make connections with people, start conversations. That is the whole goal, is to get conversations started. But yeah, if you want to check out my stream from yesterday, this is not about pitching anybody anything or selling anybody anything. And that system, that methodology has garnered over $10 million in managed service revenue to date from using that. So by all means, and again, if you're a Tech Tribe member, you have my full training, which goes even more in depth than yesterday's stream, and the full workbook that goes along with it as part of your Tech Tribe membership. So keep that in mind. You have access to it. I go through and we do this in a workshop inside of that training to be able to show you how to build searches, how to save searches, how to set up your profile, all that good fun stuff. So Lily is, she said, sorry I'm late. My company wanted a marketing flyer made, but thank you so much for joining us, Lily. Appreciate it. Michael said he's ready to dip his toes into LinkedIn marketing after doing the Tech Tribe LinkedIn growth map. So awesome. Jump in there, make connections, start conversations. I promise you that you will not regret it. To me, by far, LinkedIn is an absolute treasure trove of connections, serendipity, and business when it's there. And that's what I absolutely love about it. Anyway, but yeah, those of you just jumping on, let me know if there's anything you want to talk about. That's kind of what I wanted to unbox that today and talk to Diana to be able to answer her questions. But if you've got questions and you're just joining us over here on the stream, let me know. Pop that in the comments. I'll wait for some comments to come in while I take a quick drink and pop out of the way. You are most welcome, Lonnie. She said, thank you for the welcome. Great to see so many fellow Tech Tribers on here. So if any other Tech Tribers have questions, let me know in the comments if there's anything you want me to walk through with you. Doesn't matter what it is. Sales, marketing, live streaming, LinkedIn, Canva, ClickUp, whatever it is. That's what these Friday jam sessions are all for. Decompress on a Friday afternoon, get ready for the weekend, and enjoy the fact that we have survived yet another week. Cannot believe it's the last week of January already. It's craziness. Seems like it was just New Year's. So Lonnie asked, how do I convince my company who is made of techies that marketing is worth the time? They're used to seeing only the end of the sales cycle. That's a tough slog, Lonnie. Not going to argue with you there. That's a great question, and I know, man, that one can get loaded because I know, being a former techie myself, that we just bathe ourselves in the tech. Till the last couple of years I had my MSP, that's really when I fell in love with marketing and kind of went a different direction with my marketing. And that's really, I enjoyed it more than anything. I stopped the copy paste stuff that everybody was putting out there, and I started putting out my own content. I started doing regular lunch and learn events. So those were in person at the time, but I started creating my own buzz. and not just, like I said, just taking marketing that somebody else has done and just putting it up there and expecting something to happen. And that, again, that's a tough slog to go through. But when I started to recognize and realize the results of that, every single time we did a lunch and learn event, I was able to get a client. Every time I did a lunch and learn event, I was able to reinforce the value for the clients that we were currently servicing, because I would invite my current clients to sit in on those seminars as well, because I would teach things that were pertinent to everybody, to every business owner. And what was awesome about it, it was my chance to reinforce our value to my current customers, while at the same time, my current customers are actually talking to people who are just there for the education and maybe the free food, but they would actually be my best advocates, and my best salespeople end up being my customers. They would talk to, prospects or people who came to those lunch and learns, and they did some amazing marketing and selling for me. And I was able to get, like I said, we were able to close business out of every single lunch and learn that we did. So that's when I was able to convince myself that there is something to marketing. There is something to taking all of the knowledge that's out there and actually doing something with it. So if I'm an MSP right now today in this market, now that in-person events are starting to come back, this type of medium right here that you're seeing, the ability to live stream, to get on, connect with an audience, have interaction like we are right now, is a great way to do quote unquote marketing. That is a great way to build the know, like, and trust that it takes to actually convert a customer and to turn somebody from just having a conversation with into a client. This medium right here has been accepted. You can do so much virtually now. But I would also dovetail that in with in-person events. And think about that. Think about in-person events that you go to as an IT provider. Where do you get the most jazzed up whenever you're sitting in with people that are there to learn like you? We all get jazzed and, energized together. So in-person events, and it doesn't have to be fancy. So if you are Tech Tribe members, you already have access to that too. I'm going to be redoing and updating that with a little more updated information, if you will, just kind of a more flair to it. But there is the Lunch and Learn Blueprint in the Tech Tribe, and that is a whole 6-week to-do list that I mastered from doing in-person events. And you could easily dovetail that checklist into doing virtual events. But I beg you to start doing events like this. Connect with your audience, your potential audience, connect with your current customers, build rapport. This is a great way to do it. It doesn't have to be live streaming, but it works. I was talking to Tom Lawrence. He and I connected last night on LinkedIn. We're going to do a stream together, and we both agree the engagement in these type of situations and these events is better than any Zoom or Teams webinar that you'll ever put on. And it is absolutely fun when you start to get down to the nitty gritty and you put in the reps of doing this. It's a blast. But to answer your question, Lonnie, again, she said her research shows that most of a year for a sales cycle in the VoIP space I work in, but they're used to getting the call at the end of the cycle. Yeah, and you have to do that marketing. You have to be in front of people so that you're the person that they actually call if and when that time is ready. And again, it has never been more really drilled into my head that strategy that I took as an MSP really worked beyond anything that I could ever hope for. And I'll tell you why. I still get people will message me from LinkedIn that I connected with a decade ago asking me about IT services. A decade ago, from the efforts that I was putting in on LinkedIn 10 years ago, they have now moved on, or in different companies, different places in their lives. And guess what? Because of what I was doing online and with our events, I was the first person they thought of when they needed somebody in that IT space. So things like this, Lonnie, things like Lunch and Learn events where you can educate bring in your vendors to help run a lunch and learn. They can also be a great support, a method of getting the funding that you need to put on those lunch and learn events. But I began to enjoy them. But again, it was the hardest part was coming up with that system and process. You guys have it absolutely free inside the Tech Tribe. So by all means, use it. And if there's anything that I can help you with, Lily, as far as getting events or doing this right here, doing live streaming, let me know. Happy to answer any questions you have on that. And again, if you've got any further follow-up questions with that, Lily, let me know in the comments too. But Michael asks, do you have any 2023 website refresh recommendations? Some quick 2023 revenue starters. I think I just mentioned a couple of them that I would start with, Michael, to be honest with you. Create your own buzz, get online, educate people, do events. And there's, like I said, there's never been an easier way. All the tools are here. When I started doing live streaming on April Fool's Day of 2020, all of these tools that I'm using now, most of them didn't really exist in their current form. It was a slog. It was tough to be able to do live streams, but the more I did it, the better I got at it. And the tools that you have to be able to run a full production like this from my studio, and I'm a one-person producer and star on my own show. The tools that you have available to you. Another quick revenue starter, Michael, and we're going to be talking about this next week on the Not an MSP show. Go back to your current clients and make sure they are buying every single thing that you sell. So I'm trying to think if we did this on a Growably call. Actually, we did. The December Growably call, Michael. Go back and look at that because we talk about that. Is you have a spreadsheet that has all of your services across the top, your customers down on the left-hand side, and you go through and make sure that every one of your customers is buying every single thing that you sell. And if they are not, then your plan of action for 2023 becomes, how do I convert my current customers? How do I get them to write me a bigger check for some more services that I offer? That's how you gain revenue. And a lot of people, and again, we're going to be interviewing Robert Gibbons next week. I think he caught the first part of this show. We're going to be interviewing him, not next week after next, on the 8th of February. Give you, for instance, Michael, he was able to increase the revenue for the company he's in 65% last year without adding, that was 65% increase in revenue from his current customers. By doing just that. Upserving his current customers. We call it upselling. I'm going to tag that from Richard Tubb. We have dubbed that upserving. You're going to upserve your current clients. They already know, like, and trust you. It's so much easier to get more revenue from the people that are already writing you a check than it is to try to do marketing and try to do these other things to get net new customers every single month or new leads. So that would be my game plan if I were you, Michael. Go back and check that out. I walk through, all of that whole strategy on, maximizing the growth potential with your current customers. Lily, you are welcome. She said, thanks for taking the time to answer my question and my support. I'm always also interested in Michael's question. So Lily, same thing for you. I would go through, take all of your current clients and all of the services you offer and make sure that everybody's buying everything from you, because your customers are likely using whatever services that you happen to sell. They just may not be getting them from you. And that's what you want to fix. And that was my goal for marketing when I flipped that around. That's how you do it. Build better credibility with the customers writing you a check and be able to upserve them by providing those services for them. And if you're not providing those services that they may need, find somebody you can partner with. You become the source of solving a problem for them. That's how we maximize our value. That's how we maximize the longevity of our MSP contracts. We have to prove our value. And those are little ways that don't cost money that where we can prove our value is by being a problem solver for them. So hopefully that helps. But I still see we got 6 people hanging out on LinkedIn. So any other stragglers that have just jumped on and joined us, say hello in the comments. If there's any other questions that you would like me to answer, I'm more than happy to. I'm going to hang out here for a little bit. That's where I would also start, Michael. Do LinkedIn. Get on LinkedIn, start making connections, start having conversations with people, because you just never know where those conversations can lead. And they can lead to some awesome places. They can lead to new revenue. Just give you, for instance, just because you connect with somebody on LinkedIn, they may not need your services right now, but they might know somebody who does. And you might get that recommendation based upon what you're doing on LinkedIn. Having conversations and actually caring about solving problems for people. So Lily said we provide awesome VoIP services. That's our specialty. We're currently looking for MSPs to partner up with. So yeah, you're welcome, Lily. So, but yeah, just there's so many things we can do now that are outside of the normal marketing. That's why I call myself an unmarketer. That is definitely a book. If you haven't read that, check that book out. Is Unmarketing by Scott Stratton. I actually bought that book back when it came out in 2009. Let me see if I can find that on Amazon. But yeah, that is a great book for being able to take marketing and put a unique spin on it. And I think Mike Michalowicz just came out with one too. I've got it, but I haven't read it yet. I think it came out at the end of last year. I'll pop that in the comments, the Unmarketing book. Yeah, so Unmarketing by Scott Stratton. Definitely check that out. I have to go dig up that interview. I actually had the chance to interview him a couple years ago. And again, serendipitous nature of LinkedIn. I was doing these live streams and I was talking about me reading that book and how it changed my mind about marketing and how I changed completely how I marketed my MSP 10 years ago. And he actually caught the tail end of the show, and I was able to interview him, I think the very next week. We were able to get on and I was able to interview him. So the things you're able to do with just from live streaming, doing stuff like this, just putting out regular content and helping people is phenomenal. It just leads to so many different places that sometimes you can't even imagine. So Michael said, I'm on that. Appreciate the advice. Was actually going to use a service who markets for companies on LinkedIn. Wasn't sure about the cost proposition though. Michael, use the stuff you have inside the Tech Tribe before I would do that, because honestly, the more personal you get with that, an outside agency is not going to be able to do that for you. But again, you've got a tribal perk for our LinkedIn Innovations app. Go through that, set it up. You can set it up to make connections for you after you've built those lists. So I would go down that route first before I would go spend whatever you're going to spend on that. We do have a done for you service too, where we'll help you with that, Michael. So again, go to linkedinnovations.app. We've got a couple more spots open for our done for you. It's taking all of that training that you have access to. All we do is we help you build the lists, and we actually do the maintenance and the messaging and all of that stuff for you. So we'll do the heavy lifting for you. So if that's something you're interested in, check it out. Drop me an email, message me on LinkedIn. But yeah, we're coming up on the end of January, so we're going to be shutting the doors on that till we, onboard the customers who have come in this month. So if you want to be one of those, Michael, that's fine. And again, I'd rather have you take the education you have inside the Tech Tribe, put something in place that can work for you. We can get you started, and then you can actually take over from there if at some point you want to do that. Just a thought. Diana said, I've been reading They Ask, You Answer, and I'm considering putting our prices on our website. This is a much debated topic in the MSP space, but honestly, I would do it. I would do that for the simple reason that the expectation of your clients is there. Like 10 years ago when I sold my MSP, like that was the expectation then. Even more now, people want to know and educate themselves prior to getting on the phone with you. So think in terms of that. I see this a lot in the tribe. I see it in other forums. MSPs get upset if the pricing to things is not on the website. They don't want to deal with vendors who don't have pricing on their website. How many of your prospects feel the same way about trying to choose IT services? Even if it's just a starting from price, it should be there. So, I mean, that's just my 2 cents. I feel in this day and age, if everybody puts their pricing out there, the customers want to educate themselves before they get on with a salesperson. That's just all of our expectations. So I would do that, Diane. I would put your pricing out there, and I would do starting from pricing. You know, if you have 3 levels of service, starting from. And just educate people. You know, that's what the education process of your live streams or your webinars and your seminars needs to be about that. What services do they need? What are those services? And just record that and even put that on that page with the pricing to help explain it. Taking time to record a few minute video to explain packages and pricing just to let people be comfortable with you. And then you'd be surprised the people that book an appointment with the appointment link on there or pick up the phone and call you, that's going to be a much warmer lead at that point because they've done the education themselves. People want to educate themselves before they go through the sales process. So to me, that is an expectation of it. Just my 2 cents, and I know that some folks in the MSP space will battle me on that. But if I was running an MSP today, I would have my prices on there. And I would actually have a lot more of that process automated where they can self-select. And I think this did come up on the tribe a few weeks ago about having some type of e-commerce functionality built into your site. So people can actually, book the time on your calendar and pay for a assessment, a network audit, whatever you want to call it. But they have the ability to go through that process, do that for themselves, and then guess what you have? You have a very warm lead. And again, they have put the time in to educate themselves, give them the information. Michael said, I'll check into that. Thanks for doing this. Yeah, happy to. Lily said they get really suspicious in my experience if they can't find your price. So again, that's, the anonymity doesn't build trust. So, but yeah, like I said, if you're just watching this, here's that book. I put that link in there. Check out Unmarketing. Move that comments out of the way, but yeah, great read, great guy. But yeah, just a phenomenal book to put a spin on marketing. Yeah, and it really gave me some unique ideas. That's where I came up with the idea. We're going to do lunch and learns. We're going to educate. I'm going to create my own buzz. We're going to create our own marketing. We're going to manufacture leads. We're not going to wait for people to just randomly find us. We're going to proactively be in search for them and be educating them on platforms like this. And like I said, it's never been easier to do than right now. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox now. But yeah, that's where I would start if I'm an MSP this year. LinkedIn prospecting needs to be a regular thing, and maximizing your whatever you call it, lifetime value of your current clients. That's what you need to focus on this year. Just my 2 cents on that. Anyway, those of you, I still got some people hanging out on YouTube and LinkedIn. I'll hang out for a few more minutes as we come up on 2:15 p.m. here on a Friday. See if any other questions are coming over there in the comments. Yeah, if you're just joining us over there in LinkedIn land, I want to go through here and like some of the comments here. But thank you, Diana. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Lily, for hanging out today. Hopefully you have a good remainder of your day and weekend. Anybody got any plans for the weekend coming up? I don't have anything fancy. See, Diana said, thank you. I like doing business with vendors with transparent pricing, so it makes sense to me. Exactly. I mean, that's what I love about that book on marketing, because a lot of us do hypocritical marketing, and I was doing it. A lot of us will do things in our marketing that we personally hate, like cold calling people. I mean, I've gone on a rant with a couple marketers about, cold calling people. I hate being cold called. And for me, it is hypocritical for me to go cold calling people and to do something that I hate to have done to me and go do that to somebody else. So think about that, the things that you've been doing in your marketing that the gurus out there have been saying, and, marketing people tell you is the correct thing to do, that you find abrasive, that you find you hate, and don't do those things to other people. And just, you would think it would make sense, but we still do it. I was guilty of it. Like I said, I was totally guilty of all of that. Like I said, till I read that book, till I read on marketing, and it really opened my eyes to how do you build the trust gap with people. You don't do that by annoying the crap out of them with your marketing. Doing things in your marketing and sales process that people find abrasive. So, again, it's just things that we would think would be second nature that aren't, just because, especially in the MSP space, it just, like I said, chaps my hide that some of the things that were being purported as the things to do way back in 2008, 2009 are still being sold as the way to do managed services, to do IT selling now. They didn't work very good then, and they don't work great now. But again, that's where marketing has actually been able to sell people into that thought process that's what they need to do. You got to get on LinkedIn and you got to hammer the crap out of people to sell them something every minute, or there's no ROI on it. Not my cup of tea. Not going to go there. Anyway, so thank you all for the great questions and the great feedback this afternoon. Obviously, I think people like this format. I just thought we would do something different this year. Change things up a little bit. Again, I'm going to go through here and give my thumbs up, show my appreciation for the folks who showed up live today. And if you happen to be watching this on the replay, drop comments in here, because I do go back. I read every single one of the comments. I will follow up with any questions that if any replay guests have on this show. I am very much about ABA, always be appreciating. Mike O'Callahan, thank you so much if you're still tuning in for the great questions and the feedback there. Danny Chaplin, Robert's probably gone to sleep or has a beer in his hands right now. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with us, Robert. Looking forward to having you on the Not an MSP show here in a couple weeks. got some big shoes to fill. Richard's going to be out on the week of the 8th. Robert Gibbons is going to be stepping into the Sir Richard Tubbs shoes. So I'm looking forward to it. And again, that was, Robert, if you're still watching this, that was a relationship that has come about totally virtually from doing these live streams. I've gotten some incredible relationships started by doing these live streams, and I absolutely love it. I'm addicted to it now. We're going to be doing a lot more coming up in the year ahead. I've got so much more planned. Diana got a pre-release of what we have coming up next week that we're ready to open the lid on. Some new stuff that we're going to be doing, not just for MSPs, but creators and businesses everywhere, to be able to level up your online game, your video game, not video games. I'm going to up your video game. That's going to wrap it for me. I've got 2:16 now on a Friday afternoon. I'm going to go grab some lunch, have some coffee, kick back. The sun's coming out. We don't see the sun too often here in Ohio. But again, thank you so much for all of you folks who joined me live today. And those of you who happen to catch this on the replay, thank you for sharing your screen with me. Feel free to reach out if you have questions that you would like me to cover on this show or others that we do. Happy to answer any questions and share anything. I just got graced with the one and only Pete Matheson. Thank you, Pete. Yeah, Pete just tuned in. So, yeah, we're just wrapping this show. Something we decided to do, kick off last week, was our Friday jam sessions. Our open question and answer. Lots of good stuff. If you guys want to check out Pete's channel, please do. Pete has been a phenomenal resource for me. Let me pop up his channel real quick here so I can put that over in LinkedIn. But yeah, definitely check out Pete's channel. Lots of cool stuff over there. I'm going to put in his personal channel. Yeah, I got no kids, man. I only had one, and he's left home. So, no sweat it. So there's Pete's channel, and he also has a Not a Business Coach channel. Definitely check that out. Let's see if I can find that real quick here. I'll put that in there. Yeah, just some tremendous expertise in MSP marketing. So if you guys are looking for some unique ways of being able to market your MSP, Pete is a absolute killer. Love hanging out with him. Yeah, my wife is. It's 2:15 here, so I'm still in the work day. She might catch the end of this, but anyway, I'm gonna go grab some lunch. Like I said, hang out. Pete, I will see you next week on the Not an MSP show. So if you haven't seen that, those are at Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern time. I get to hang out with Pete Matheson, Scott Riley, and Richard Tubb. We do a regular, again, similar to See This, ask questions, talk about topics. I think next week we're going to be talking about the impact of AI in the MSP industry. So thanks, Pete. I will wrap this, and I will see you great folks next week. Have a great weekend. Be safe out there. And as always, I end every single one of these streams. Always be humble and kind, and always do what is necessary. See you next time.